My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you all are doing well. When it comes to outdoor products, more times than not, when a new product hits the market, it's a copy of an existing design. Copy after copy after copy. When there's an exception to that, I get excited. And everyone, that is what I have here today. What I have here is a new stove system. It's a pot and a stove combo, and it's unlike anything I have ever seen before. And get this, everyone, it works incredibly well. The design, it's smart. With that being said though, while this does feature a smart design, it could be even smarter. And we'll talk more about that in just a minute. This combo kit comes from the company known as FireMaple, and this is what they're calling the Quickboil Pro system, which is part of the Petrel line of products. With the Quickboil Pro, this is what you receive if you decide to purchase this kit. What we have here is a mesh storage bag with a draw pull up at the top. Here we have the Petrel pot. Right here we have the handle with an insulator on it. This locks into place. Locks into place when it's down and up. We have the lid up here at the top with a silicone grab tab. We also have vents and a pour spout. Let's say that you're making some noodles inside of this, you can drain out the water. Taking off the lid, on the inside here, we have this. And this here unfolds just like so. And this is your gas canister support stand. I'll show you how this works in just a minute. Next, everyone, we have the stove. The stove itself is quite interesting. It features a design that you likely have not seen before. I certainly have never seen a stove like this. There are no pot supports with this stove. You have this funky windscreen. There's the adjuster and the burner head, and that's it. Going back to the pot here, again, we have the handle, it locks into place, and so on. Going to this side here, you can see that we have measurement markings. You can also see those on the inside of the pot. The most interesting aspect to this pot system is the bottom. You can see down here, it says lock and unlock. Now take a look at the very bottom of this pot. This looks very unusual, doesn't it? You can see that you have this locking ring, and then you have heat spreader fins on the inside. With the Quickboil stove, this runs on isobutane. And this is how you would use this system. You take the stove and attach it to your gas canister, and then you take the pot, you put it on top, twist it, and lock it into place. And now, it is one connected unit. Let's say that you're using this on the ground instead of on a flat surface like this table here. That is where this comes into play. Basically, you take it, you put it down, the supports will clip on to the ring of the gas canister at the bottom, and this makes the entire system more secure. Now you might be wondering whether or not this stove can be used with, let's say, a kettle or another pot or cup. Twist to unlock, take your kettle, and put it on top. Does it work? Technically, yes. But you have to keep in mind that the stove diameter, basically the top of it, the ring that connects to this, is not very wide. So it doesn't offer a lot of stability, especially if you're going to use like a taller pot or cup. In a pinch, it works, but this system was not designed to be used this way. It is designed to be used with this pot and this pot alone. But in a pinch, you can do just about anything that you want to. Something that I want to do here is fire up this stove. I want you all to hear how loud this thing is, because folks, it makes some noise. As you all can tell, this is a very loud stove system. Why is it so loud? Well, the stove is putting off a lot of BTUs. You're looking at 8,531 BTUs from this tiny little stove. Again, everyone, this was designed to run on isobutane and isobutane only. It was not designed to run with any adapters for like propane or butane. And in regards to performance, the best boil time that I've been able to achieve with this system in real world conditions involves 2 cups of water, 16 ounces, and it was able to boil that in 1 minute and 50 seconds. The company claims that they've been able to achieve a faster boil of 1 minute and 45 seconds. That's accurate. It's so close. You have to consider when you're in the outdoors, there's so many different variables that can influence the performance of a stove. So all in all, their claims are correct. And yes, this is a very powerful stove. At the same time, it's very efficient. The design here, the way that this connects together, allows for very little heat loss to take place, even when it's breezy. This stove, I have to say everyone, when it comes to like wind resistance, is likely the best performer I have ever tested out. While there's no stove system out on the market today that is 100% wind proof, this is the best performer in the breeze and the wind that I've ever tested. The amount of heat loss that comes from this design is so minimal, it truly is impressive. With the pot here, the max capacity is 600 milliliters. And again, we do have measurement markings on the outside as well as the inside. When the entire system is stowed away inside of the storage bag, it measures 6.5 inches tall, 4.5 inches wide. With the stove system attached to the pot, not counting a gas canister, this stands 9 inches tall and it's 4 inches wide, not counting the handle. With the stove, that is 3 inches tall and roughly 2 inches wide. Lastly, as far as the dimensions go, with the pot, that is 6.1 inches tall, roughly 4 inches wide. Again, not counting the handle. Now everyone, let's talk about weight, not including the gas canister. The entire weight is 10.1 ounces, meaning this is a very lightweight kit. The weight of the stove, 1.8 ounces. The weight of the pot, 5.6 ounces. The accessories, 2.5 ounces. And when it comes to the materials, you're looking at a combination of aluminum, plastic, silicone, and stainless steel. And finally, the price of this system is $55 at the time of filming. Now everyone, let's move over to the pros and cons section of this review. So I've been testing this out for the last couple of months, and I have to say, everyone, I'm really impressed with this. This stove system does a lot right and very little wrong. That doesn't mean that there aren't improvements that could be made, because there certainly are some. I have some ideas that I'm willing to share with FireMaple. Concerning the quality and the construction of this system here, this has been very well made, well machined. There's no sharp edges, nothing like that. The quality is really good. I just noticed with the pot here, this is actually 2 pieces that have been welded together. With the welds, they're smooth. They're not jagged. In other words, the quality is good. I just tested out an MSR stove that features the same sort of welds, and their quality was absolute shit. Excuse the language, but it's true. And that system was like $140, $150, something like that. But yet the quality was much worse than this. As far as the weight of the entire system, it's not bad at all. I would like to see a titanium version of this because they could get the weight down even lower. But as is, for the stove, for this size of pot, the weight makes sense. This is very much lightweight. When it comes to putting everything together, it's nice and easy. When it comes to taking everything apart, it's nice and easy. When it comes to the overall performance of this stove, it's excellent. This is very powerful. You can, of course, dial this back. You can simmer, the adjuster. It's stiff, which I like, but it's not too stiff. The MSR, very poor quality. Super loose adjuster. This is nice. Going back to performance, this is without a doubt powerful enough to do anything that you want to. If you want to boil real quick, you can do so. If you want to cook in this, you can. If you want to simmer, of course you can. Talking about how fast this is. 2 cups of water under 2 minutes. As soon as you light this up, you will have bubbles in the bottom of your pot because it's that fast, that powerful. The performance is amazing from this system here. I've already talked about this in some detail, but briefly, once more, this is very much wind resistant. Seriously, out of every stove I have ever tested out, this has the best wind resistance performance that I've ever seen. There's no stove out on the market today that comes close to this. Concerning the pot, the capacity is good. The locking handle, it's excellent. We have the handle insulator, that too is excellent. We have measurement markings, that's good. The lid too is very good. It fits perfectly on top of this pot. You have the grab tab, the vents, the pour spout. Everything about this is well designed for the most part, but it could be better, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But all in all, there's not much to complain about here. The mesh storage bag is gigantic. It is plenty big for the pot, for the stove, a lighter, coffee, a spoon, a washcloth, so on and so forth. This is gigantic and the quality is good enough. It definitely gets the job done. Lastly, as far as the pros go, the price and the value of this is excellent. $55 for a very good performing stove, a large capacity pot. It's not heavy. The BTU rating is very, very high. All in all, the value is here. The quality is better and the performance is better than the MSR stove that I recently took a look at, and that blows my mind. Again, everyone, that thing is like $140 and the quality's piss poor, the design's not that good. This here is 55 bucks. And that, everyone, takes us over to the cons. Con number one is this. It's the way that the pot connects to the stove. It is metal on metal. And you can hear that. It's like nails on a chalkboard, kind of. With this sort of design, I'm not sure how they can really improve upon that, but it is something that I wanted to mention. Next, everyone, it is somewhat easy to get this not cross-threaded, but get it locked into place incorrectly. There's these two raised sections here around the burner head that latch into the inside of this control ring. Right there, it's correct, and it comes off nice and easy. But you can get this basically lodged and crammed in there incorrectly, and it is difficult to get apart. As long as you're paying attention and getting everything aligned correctly, you're not going to have any issues though, but I did want to point that out. The next complaint that I have for this stove system is the fact that there's no igniter built in. It's 2025 going on to 2026. There should be one built into this stove system. There's really no excuse for that. I like the fact that there are measurement markers on the outside, inside, but they've been done in liters instead of ounces or cups. 0.2 of a liter, 0.4 of a liter, 0.6 of a liter. This would be so much more helpful if it was in cups or in ounces. Something else I should mention, this is not a con for me, but it could be for some people. This is a very loud stove. If you want a stove system that's very quiet, that's whisper quiet, this is not it. Next up, we have the storage bag. The overall quality of this is so-so. I have some loose threads here. Already it looks like it's coming apart in a couple of places. This is going to last a long time, but plain and simple, the quality could be better. And that takes me over to the biggest con that I have for this system here. This is designed to work with this pot, and really that's about it. This was not designed to work with anything else. No other pots, cups, kettles, pans, nothing like that. With that being said, I have an idea for this system that I'm willing to sell to FireMaple. They can give me 75 cents off of every model sold. Check this out, everybody. You'll be impressed by this. As is, this was designed to be used with that pot and that pot alone. But yet, we have this right here, which is the canister support stand, right? They can take the canister support stand, change the design in the center here, so that it twists and locks into place on top. And all of a sudden, any sort of pot, any sort of cup would fit on top of this. That is such an easy idea, such an easy solution, and it would add a ton of versatility to the system here. With that being said, everyone, I am done. This has been an agenda-free review of this stove system. All in all, I'm very impressed with this. I do like everything I'm seeing here for the most part, but it could be better. And it could be better in the ways that I've suggested already. The complaints that I have for this are very minor. Just with a little bit of work, a little bit of tweaking, this could go from really, really good to excellent. In fact, with just a little bit of work, this could be one of the best stove systems out on the market today. But with that being said, some minor changes do need to take place here. I have certainly said a lot in this episode. Now it's your turn. Comment down below. What do you all think about this system here? If you found this episode helpful, please hit the thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Everyone, this has been an agenda-free review, meaning I don't care if you purchase this product or not. It means nothing to me. This channel does not do sponsorships or anything like that. Until next time, everyone, take care, be well, strength and honor. See ya.